On my last camper build, I had a huge battery box just to handle all the electronics. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing an honest review of this Auxbeam 8-gang wireless switch. And it's pretty cool because it comes with a remote, has a panel, and has an application. And in this video today, I'm going to show you guys it in operation, how I installed it, and how easy it is to use. And stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back to Random Fix. So yes, I am converting a newer Sprinter here into a camper, and this is month 3, so I'm getting pretty close to the end here, and I promised myself I wouldn't get a haircut until I'm done with the camper build. So I've done a lot of cool things inside the camper build, and one of the coolest is going to be this Auxbeam 8-gang switch box, as it's really taken all that electronic space and condensed it into a single panel. So I have most of my electronics, so about 90% of them, in that panel right there, and it does a lot. So in this video today, I'm going to be showing you guys what I did, and I'm going to start off with the nighttime video so you guys can see all the different components working, because a lot of it is going to be hooked up to the external components, so I can utilize it from a distance, as this remote has a very nice range. It also has an application, which additionally I'm going to show you guys a few tricks that I actually use to go ahead and do some complex things and get the Mercedes-Benz systems to talk to this panel, and they're really easy, and I'll have additional resources down below for you guys. So let's jump into the review, and I'll go ahead and leave you guys some pro tips at the end. In the past, wiring up a camper van was difficult. You needed a lot of space. There was wires running everywhere, and you were limited only to the wires you would run. Well, things have definitely changed. So let me show you guys how this whole system works, as you're going to really like what it does. And I'm going to give you guys the reasons why I like it, show you guys my setup. On the last Sprinter, I had a huge battery box. It was really cumbersome, and it took a lot of space. And this time, I've done things a little differently. So I'm going to show you guys some pretty cool gadgets, and these are from Auxbeam. And the very first thing here is going to be their toggle switch, or their gang box. So the very first thing I did is I went ahead and wired up the actual vehicle here. And so you guys can see that I've gone through and put pod lights up, a light bar, and then we went through and put the rack lights up. And on the bottom, we've gone through and put the green lights up. So everything works perfectly, and this has really been an easy install. So let me show you guys how I did this, and I think you guys are really gonna like what I've done. I even have a zombie switch. So let's take a look at what's inside, and then tomorrow when it's light out, I will show you guys the setup. Alright guys, so this is going to be my camper build, and I just installed a shower today, which was really easy, and I'm definitely looking forward to sharing that with you guys. But let's jump back into the actual device that allowed me to basically use this little panel as my battery box. So on my last build, I had a huge battery box right behind the driver right here. And I hated working in there because every single time I would have to be on my knees. It wasn't comfortable. I didn't have any sort of flexibility. And this particular system I'm about to show you guys has no limitations. In fact, I have 2 of these remotes. I have the panel, and the way I have wired it up, I can still utilize the switches. So the LED bars, the cubes in the front, they could all be accessed from the switch. And I'm going to show you guys how I did that. So let's take a look at what this is. This is an 8-gang switch. So it's really easy to go ahead and set up. It's got a simple on and off switch. And if you turn it off, it'll turn off everything. So I'm going to go and turn on a total of 3 accessories. And as soon as I hit off, everything's turned off. Now if I hit on, everything's turned back on. It automatically remembers what the last mode was, which is really cool. So I have the light bar, the rack lights, the cubes. I even wired up my fan here. So once I go through and turn off the master switch, which I will show you guys, everything's going to turn off that I want to turn off. The only thing I didn't connect to here is going to be my lights. And I've actually wired up my lights right now to work with the Mercedes-Benz OEM lights. So as soon as I open the door, this is going to go and turn on. If I want to turn off the lights, I can hit the switch. Switch here on the Mercedes electronics, and it turns everything off. Again, this is all working with that panel that I'm showing you guys. I've never had this kind of flexibility. So it automatically remembers everything, which is great. And I have the water pump, my gray water valve right here. I have a zombie mode, so once I hit this, it'll go through and alert anybody. And this was already installed on the vehicle. I just rerouted the wires and the power from here. And we have the underglow lights. So the remote has a really nice range, and it comes with an antenna, and you can mount it on the outside. I just took the antenna, looped the wire, and just installed it right here. Hey Z, let's wash the van.
So my brother and my dad are washing the van right now because we're leaving in California for a while. I'm gonna test the range of this controller for the light bar. I don't know which button the light bar is, so let me figure it out. Okay, it's 1. Let me keep going. Still works. Holy cow. I definitely think you can make it back to there. So let me just walk here. No way. Yeah. I'm not going back there. Yeah, it really works all the way back there. Yeah, to the tree line.
Huh?
It works all the way back to the tree line.
Did you get it to where it stopped working?
No. We should use the mower.
Take the lawnmower, go see where you can get it to work. The range is not working.
Hey guys, my dad loves LED so much he even has it on his lawnmower.
I love testing tools. There it is, folks.
The way I'm building out this camper van, I want to be able to access this area within minutes and not have to tear anything apart. And this allows me to do that. And additionally, there's a lot of great hidden features that I didn't know about when I was first getting this. And during the day, it's going to be hard for me to show you guys some of these electronics. So I also installed their light bar, and I'll have a link to it down below. And the way I have wired up the light bar is as soon as I hit the light bar, it'll go through and turn on the pod lights as well. So one switch and they both get turned on. And I have the option to do that on the actual physical switch as well. So let's take a look at this. Guys, let's roll that footage here from nighttime driving. This is the coolest light in the world to drive with. And honestly, I only drive with it on really dark roads when there's no oncoming traffic. As you guys can probably guess, this light is super strong, and if you see it in person, you're just gonna be like, wow, it's that good. Let me show you guys some other cool things that are happening here. Because of their box and the flexibility, I can go through and still use physical switches. So I have a physical switch right on the base of my seat. And again, that is going to be for the cubes. So the cubes is something I can actually have on when I'm driving, and they're not too annoying. I can go through and turn those off. And if I reach my left hand up, I have this switch right here. So let me show you guys this. And when I hit that switch, it'll automatically turn on the LED light bar and the cubes, middle ones and the ones here on the bumper. So I really like all the flexibility. Let's wait till daybreak tomorrow and I'll show you guys all the electronics. I'll also show you guys how I mounted the light bar. And I mounted it to the Flatline Van Company roof system, which we'll go into as well tomorrow. Let's take a look at what's included here. This is going to be the AC 800. It's got a total of 8 different switches built in. And for each switch, there's going to be a positive and a negative. These are going to be the max fuse ratings. However, if I wanted to use a 5 amp on here, I could. If I wanted to use a 30 amp on here, I can't. Then we have the positive junction, the negative junction. And here's where the pins are going to connect to. And the reason I like this particular one is because of this remote. And I do have an optional remote. And that way I'll have 2. I'm going to keep one in the front. And then I'll have one in the back. This comes with a 60 amp breaker. It's completely enclosed. So this is really nice. Most of the times these are not completely enclosed. So I like this clear cover here. In case I wanted to waterproof the control panel, this would help. Power leads for the positive and negative. The lead to connect the actual switch itself. And it's plenty long, so I don't think I'll have any issue trying to find a good home for this. Some sort of mounting bracket, antenna, mounting hardware, the switch itself, screwdriver, and fuse, master switch, plenty of zip ties, lots of different little stickers so I can customize my switch. Mounting bracket, and an additional mounting bracket as well. Alright, let's take a look at what madness this can actually control. So it's got a positive and a negative, and you can run the negative from here or from the actual vehicle. To make it easier for me, sometimes I have actually run the negative from here, and other times I use it from the vehicle because I didn't want to run twice as many wires back. This is going to be my light bar, and normally the light bar takes about a 30 amp fuse. However, I've gone through and put a 5 amp fuse in because I have connected the light bar straight to the actual battery, and I built the switch. It comes with the switch actually. And if you take the trigger wire from here, which is normally the center wire, you can go through and do some pretty cool things with diodes. So for example, when this light turns on, my lower lights turn on as well. A simple diode will keep the backfeed from occurring. So now when I want to have the lower lights on, the bigger light bar on top, which is super strong, will not be on. So this is amazing, and the fact that I can fit all this inside the wall area here is unbelievable. And I love the fact that I can actually stand up now as I'm working on this. And if you're wondering how I did the little trick here with the lighting from the light bar to the cubes in the front, I use a simple diode like this. This is a fuse holder, and these diodes are originally meant for GMs. So it'll basically keep the signal from going back to the light bar. So I could go ahead and turn on the light bar, and now my light bar and cubes are on. However, if I want to go and turn on the cubes without turning on the light bar, I just hit that, and now just the cubes are on. And if you guys want to check out the whole van build playlist here, do so. I'll leave you guys a link to it. I am going to be putting in a bathroom right now, so you guys may see that towards the end of the video. I just put the panels in yesterday, and I'm going to be finishing this up. AC's in, fans are in, insulation, vapor barriers, electrical is all done. Now it's just the last 10% of getting everything in, including the beds, and the beds are super simple. I am going to be using the IKEA cheat, and I came up with a really nice solution for L-Track. If you guys don't know what L-Track is, this is L-Track right here. My van came with it, and if your van doesn't come with it, you should probably install this. and you don't have to do it throughout the van like this, but it will really make your van build that much better. It will give you so many different options. It's super strong, and it's actually easy to put in. It's just got rivets, and I have a video on how this was installed and the locations, the lengths, and anything else that can help you out. So I'm going to program an extra remote, and one thing I didn't mention about these remotes is that they're magnetic. It's really cool. Anyway, to go ahead and do this, they've thought about everything. Just pull the little sleeve out. Now the battery is connected, and to go ahead and get this to sync up, it's really easy. All I have to do is hit the power button and any other button. Now I have two remotes that not only are magnetic, but they're programmed. Guys, they've really thought about everything. This panel is amazing. Now, what's even better is the fact that this actually has an app, and it's available for Android and iOS. Once I turn on my Bluetooth, it's shown right there. This is my controller. Wow, guys. Literally, this is my first time doing it, and this is pretty cool, guys. Honestly, this panel is awesome. I can program any of the icons too. So if I want to go through and call the top one light bar, now I can duplicate the icons on my panel to my phone. And the last time I did this, every time I saw somebody drive around with the light bar, I wanted it. So this time I got myself a light bar, and I'm going to go ahead and quickly go over why I think this might be a good setup for you and show you guys how I'm mounting it, because that's my biggest question when it comes down to these light bars, and I don't want to buy a custom bracket. So let's go ahead and take a look at this bar. So this bar is actually 50 inches wide. It's listed as a 52 inch because of these mounting brackets, and these mounting brackets are really cool, and this is one of the reasons I like this light bar, is because it gives you dual options. So you can go ahead and mount it from the side right here, and it has this screw that goes in here and two smaller ones that go ahead and anchor the position in place, or you could bottom mount it using the slide system that they have, and this is how it looks. So basically, if I undo that Allen key right there, I'll have access to these two smaller screws, set this in place where I want it, and then I can go ahead and fasten it to my mounting points. And it comes with a relay, the wiring harness, and looks like a fuse already pre-constructed. So let's see if the fuse is in here. So yeah, it's got a 40 amp fuse in there. Really quality build, and nice seal, really nice seal. I had to use both hands to get that apart. So let's take a look at the hardware. We have some gaskets here, and these are basically to be used right here and also on this mount here. So dual purpose. It comes with the Allen keys included, and those are those little screws that I talked about, the side mount that would get used. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly show you guys my van and what I've done so far, so you guys get an idea. So let's take a quick look at this. So I'm installing a roofing system here from Flatline Van Company. This is the way I have decided to mount it because it's easy. So I went ahead and ran a new crossbar right in here, and this flare already has some holes that have been pre-made, so I don't have to drill anything out. And then I put one of these slide nuts on the bottom side, slid it into place, and they're 1/4 inch. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a 1/4 inch nylon bolt on the bottom in two locations, and this is not going to go anywhere. Then I'm going to attach the side mounts, not the bottom mounts, right here. Put these in place and reverse the side mount so I can actually put this in, put the side brackets on sideways, So I'll flip them in case I run into a room issue. But this gives me a lot of flexibility. So let me go ahead and quickly get this mounted as the weather is changing, and I got to get this done. So this honestly does not take as much time as you think, given the fact that they give you so many options with the mounting. And then we'll go into the quality. Okay, so I got it in place. Mounts are on the sides. Again, bolt, locking washer, and I've done the same for the other side. Now if I can just get the other side in the same way, I'm gonna be happy as a clown. Alright, so I got the bottom part tight and the top part is a little loose because I want to see how I should go and angle this, but this really fit like a glove in here and I'm happy with the way it looks. Might have to go ahead and change the angle of this. The only gripe I really have with this is the power cord being on the passenger side. Now I know I can go ahead and flip the light around, but I don't know if they did any sort of special engineering with the light. Maybe it has a beam that's supposed to point down, and the only reason I think that is because they put the bottom mount on the bottom, so there is going to be a little bit of a change. So if they would have put it in both orientations, make a slot up here for the bottom mount as well, then I would have not hesitated on doing this the other way around. So this is on the driver's side. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this up for the time being, and then when I am ready to do the rest of the wiring, I'm going to go and try out the quality of the light. So when my unit is running, I can go ahead and power down everything in case I'm worried about a battery drain or anything else with one switch. So I have a master switch running to the base of my seat. When I click this, everything's going to automatically turn off. So let's go ahead and do that. There you go, nothing to worry about. And if you're looking for the ultimate battery solution for your camper van, make sure you guys check out my battery solution here for the Sprinter, as it's freaking awesome. And I have 13,000 watt hours of power on this van besides the solar. And one other thing that I love about this unit is the fact that it's all enclosed, and I didn't realize the importance of that until I figured out that some of the vapor barrier material that I used was conductive, and that was a huge issue for me. So this particular box is all enclosed and it's so easy to work with. I can go and even zip tie it. So for me, I have a very limited amount of space, and I went through and used some very good quality zip ties, and I zip tied it out of the way. And if I ever need access to it, guys, I come over here. Let me show you guys how easy this is. I'm gonna go and undo this bolt, and my panel is right behind here. Very easy to do, and the best part is, because of the design and the flexibility of the panel, I don't have to be on my knees and break my back. I can actually stand up, and my kids normally sit here, so I fold up their chair. This chair folds up. I can make any kind of modification, check fuses, and when you're checking fuses on this, if a fuse goes out, it'll actually let you know on the panel, so you don't have to go hunting. They really have thought about everything on this. So anyway, guys, wish me luck. I said I would get a haircut once the van is done. I'm getting close to the end. I'm really looking forward to enjoying the van and also getting a haircut. Hey everybody, I'm actually editing the video and I realized that I forgot to mention that this particular panel and the whole setup is not just made for camper vans. It can be used in pickup trucks, passenger vehicles. You can use it in any 12-volt application, and it's very easy to configure. If you're looking for something nice that will give you total control. As far as wiring up the switch, you don't have to make any holes on your roof. What I did in my install is I actually ran the power lead through the air conditioner. So one of the ducts actually had room, and I ran it through there. So I'll leave you guys the install video for my air conditioner if you guys are looking for ideas to avoid holes, because holes suck. And if you get a water leak, you're not going to be happy. So try to make as few holes as possible, and the wire on this is very thin, and it's definitely weatherproof, and I haven't had any issues, so it's looking good. So overall, I'm really happy with the Auxbeam setup here for the light bar and also the gang switch. And out of all the switches that I have seen on the market, this is the one to go with, as it's simple to configure, doesn't have any flaws, and I have not had any issues, and so far it's been super solid. I'll leave you guys links to the actual products so you guys can go ahead and check it out, and some of the other videos that can help you out. If there's a question I didn't answer, please let me know what it is, and I'll do my best to get back to you guys. And as always, guys, make sure you do not forget to give the video a thumbs up before you leave. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more videos, and I appreciate you guys. Thanks again.